I'm Dr. F.J. Schofield.
Dr. Fred Schofield.
This is the Schofield Chiropractic Training Podcast.
Yes.
Hello, hello. We're going to talk about energy management. Really important topic. Really, really important topic. Great time of year to as you're planning for next year to focus on how you're going to keep your energy really high. You've done a great job with that.
I had a compliment the other day at a guy a chiropractor who hasn't heard me in 25 years, and he said, "Wow, you haven't lost any of your tone." See? We talk about the tonality of your office. What's the tone? Your physiology has a tone. See? And they say, "Oh, you're born that way." Well, yeah, you can talk like that. Or you can quote Albert Einstein, who said everything is energy. Mo Chi
Yeah.
Chu, which you know what we teach, stands for MC squared. Mo Chi Chu. MC squared. Energy. Chiropractic. It's interesting because chiropractic, if you compare it to medicine, which it cannot, they're dealing with chemical bodies and we're dealing with energy. It's like talking electromagnetics to a chemical engineer. It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
pointless arguing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah,
And
two different
at this
fields, and they're
moment,
both necessary, and whatever. You need both. When I went in to get my wisdom teeth taken out, I was bloody happy they had drugs for me.
sure you will.
So there's a time and a place for everything, and you just focus on you, and you focus on what you enjoy doing, and that's really the key. So something I want to touch on, you told me this a lot when I was growing up, is you can be good, you can be pretty good at a lot of things, or you can be great at a few. And that is one of, I think, the absolute keys to energy management, is focusing on what are your priorities and dialing those in, and then saying no to a lot of other stuff.
Well, Aristotle said the most important thing, the Oracle of Delphi. I mean, this is going way back, F. And his first goal was know thyself. You got to know your majors and your minors. Most
Yeah.
people are focusing on minor issues
Yeah.
when they are major issues have been neglected in the office. Like,
Yeah.
like reading x-rays, is kind of important if you're going to deal with like compressive fractures, or what are they called then when the
Compression fraction.
compression fractures. There it is. See, you compress it.
That is
See,
what
not a
happens.
good sign.
Not a good sign.
But you don't have to worry about that, because if you put them on, sacral traction, but that's knowledge again. See?
Yeah, and I think what people listening what he's saying is you got to master your craft. As you talked about last week, what was the quote? Laborers work harder than craftsmen, and craftsmen work harder than artists.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. So, and there are great techniques like SOT and DNFT where they don't take X-rays, and they're fabulous techniques that can help a lot of people. But if you're going to take X-rays, master taking them, analyzing them, figure that out. Whatever techniques, I love the upper cervical. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, but they
Whatever.
all have the same in common. You all have to do the leg check. You have to do the pump.
Yeah, you got to figure out if they're out of alignment, and then you need some kind of post check to make sure
that you did something.
Yeah, that you did something positive.
Otherwise, it's just pop and pray, baby. Better go do another screening, which I know everybody loves.
Yeah.
Even the guy who teaches screening ain't teaching that anymore.
No, and they're necessary and they're fine. And I built my practice doing a lot of them. And when you're young in practice or opening your own, and
Sure.
depending on where you're at, they don't work everywhere, but there are certain areas where they work really well, and they work pretty well for me. But it's a lot of energy. Again, you're putting out tremendous. I mean, in those early months, you adjust all week, plus you're doing a lot of the paperwork, and then you go screen for. I mean, you're putting in 80 hours. You can't do that forever. Not if you want to have kids and have a nice family life and have balance.
We used to take you guys to the spinal screenings. We used to say, hand out that go hand your card to that person. And we knew they didn't want to do it, but they couldn't say no to a little 3-year-old.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
So yeah, I mean, but you're right. As your quality, there's really, we're getting a little off, but I think this is a great point. What I've found is there's really two ways, if you boil it down, there's really two ways to do really well in life. One is to put in a ton of time. And that's what you have to do if you don't have a lot of skill. Now, it takes time to develop skills, no doubt. But if you do develop those skills, now what happens is you can create a tremendous amount of value with specialized knowledge and skill. And so you can create and generate a lot of revenue in a short amount of time because you have incredible amount of skill. And I love this quote. Pac always, I don't know where he got it, but he said Picasso, this lady goes, towards the end of his life, he goes, Picasso, he was at a cafe, draw me a picture. And he takes 10 minutes, draws her this picture. And the lady goes, how much? And he goes, $10,000. She goes, what? That only took you 10 minutes. He goes, no. That took me a lifetime.
Correct. I would have paid the $10,000 though.
Yeah, probably be worth 10 million now or more.
Exactly.
That's a good investment. But that's really what it's about, is developing those skills, and then you don't have to put in such time. Because I see it in the Midwest, it's really common. I learned this from really some of my patients, where they're firefighters and teachers, and in the summers they cut grass on the side, and then in the winters they remove snow. And these people will work 6, 7, 12-hour days because they want to take care of their family, and they don't have a lot of specialized knowledge and skills, so they just put in tons of time. But that's exhausting long term. So if you have a focus and you create those skills, then you can generate a tremendous amount of revenue.
I like that little phrase you use, like specialized knowledge. Like you can work with a little swagger. I got specialized knowledge. So it just sounds like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you want to get an expert in any field, you got to pay, but you pay happily because you know they're going to fix the problem.
Correct. I just love you've got to, every year, we're coming to the end, and so every year you should learn something, some skill.
Yeah.
Specialized knowledge. And they go, well, what seminar should we go to? And they go to another motivation. Those people don't know their business.
Yeah, I think what happens with that is you're spending a lot of time in activities that don't bring you a lot of joy. So then you need someone to kind of really, pump you up again. But if you can, this is another key to energy management. If you can little by little, especially for the business owners, if you can little by little focus most of your time in areas that you enjoy, then you develop skill. You're interested in it, you enjoy it, you want to learn about it, and then you develop all this skill. Like, no one forced Michael Jordan to go out and shoot basketballs when he was a little kid. No one forced Roger Federer to hit tennis balls. They just love to do it. Or Lennon and McCartney, they just loved to make music. Tom Petty, they followed their interests and their joy.
The Rolling Stones.
The Stones, do not forget.
Come on now.
And
come with your other little groupies here. The Stones, baby.
Yes, the Stones. You love the Stones.
You know what? They said Charlie Watts is he's the drummer for the Rolling Stones.
Oh, he is? Okay. I thought he was in Pink Floyd.
He just says, this is my family.
Yeah.
See, when you get that, you have more than a product.
Yeah, and then we have some chiropractors and their teams at their offices, their families, and when you see that, then the office runs itself, and you don't have to micromanage anything. The team takes care of itself. But yeah, focusing on
you got to have massive organizational skills, Frederick.
Yeah, and if you don't, then you have to hire people that do. And we all have different strengths and talents, and so the best way to figure out where your talent lies is just look at what you're interested in and what you enjoy doing. Follow your joy.
Situational management. It always comes down, doesn't it?
Yeah, because if I went and I look at my day and I have to give 100 adjustments and analyze some X-rays, I love it. I don't even consider that work. That to me is like playing basketball or rugby or tennis. That's a great day. That's a fun day.
Correct.
But if you ask me to go do a screening for the same amount of time, I look at that and go, I got to really work myself up to go give that screening.
Right.
that takes a lot of energy. It's taking energy away from me, not giving energy to me. Now, at the end of the day, if you adjust, 150 people, yeah, you're tired, but it's a happy fatigue, like at the end of a practice or a game, because
Well,
you're
it has
doing
to
what
do
you
with,
enjoy doing.
yeah, it has to do with your attention. Where your attention goes, your innate power flows. I mean, but to get your attention so there's no distractions, that's called focus.
Yeah, and focus, again, when we get back to saying no. And Warren Buffett has a quote that I love. The difference between successful people and really successful people is really successful people say no a lot.
Correct.
You got to know, you got to have your vision, of course, and you got to decide on these priorities and decide on what you enjoy doing, where you want to go, what the skills you want to develop. And you really got to work on blocking everything else. You can't be on every board, can't coach every team. You've got to really focus your energy on those top value activities, those top priorities. And you've been great at that. I mean, you really focus now. I mean, after all these years, you're able to focus your energy on mostly on things you enjoy doing. You don't have to do too much of stuff you don't like to do, unless mom makes you take out the trash.
I love taking out the trash.
Yeah, that's right, you do.
I have to separate.
Yeah.
May take me a little while to do it.
Unless mom cracks the whip, you pretty much do what you like to do. But that's what being a business owner and putting in work and creating a team around you allows you to do. So you say no more, you decide on priorities, and then you've been great at this too, and something you've always told me to do is you take plenty of time off.
Whew. It's interesting because we teach that DREAM, DREAM. And
Yes.
the D stands for dedication. Whatever you do, dedicate. Like a dedicated line in the old days. This is a dedicate. You have to be dedicated. But the R is R squared. Respiration and relaxation. Have you ever heard those two words at a chiropractic seminar? Never.
So
they think going around and taking your kids around the world and I mean, who are they copying? We started that. You guys went on safaris when you were like little fellas. Why? Because I like going on safari. That's why.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You saw a lion up close, real close.
Yeah, a couple times. And I think that's why, like you said, that guy said, I haven't seen you in 25 years and you still are excited. And that's because you've taken a lot of time off.
Yes.
And you've focused on your talents, what you like to do.
Well, it's not time management, even though that's important. Don't get me wrong. But in the future, it's going to be energy management.
Well, yeah, because we all, and I say this, we've all spent an hour in the office and got nothing done.
Correct.
And you spent an hour in the office and you were incredibly productive and efficient because the amount of energy and focus you brought to that time was completely different.
Correct. So you have to be organized. You're good at that.
Oh.
Organizational management.
And then you put people around you that have different strengths. So you can really focus on what you love to do and have other people do what they're good at. And then you create this. Because if you were going to build a basketball team, you wouldn't get 5 point guards. That makes no sense.
It's not happening.
And that's how a lot of people build their offices and build their, as they try to get a bunch of people like them.
Correct.
And then it just doesn't, and then they struggle.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
As my mother used to say, one in the family's enough. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying 1 point guard on your team is enough.
Yeah, you want one starter and one backup, and that's all you need.
Well, we're not a professional team, but...
No, we're not.
So, we can't afford to have guys swarming the bench.
Not with your jump shot, we're not.
Huh?
Not with your jump shot.
You just... I analyze my scrum off pass, pal.
Yeah, we're not talking about rugby, though.
No. But we will one day. We will.
Anyways. So, yeah, you got to... and it all helps you increase your energy. So
I always tell people...
I hear a lot of people say, well, work smarter, not harder. And I'm like, what does that mean? It's like, sure, it's like a catchy phrase. People say it, but it's useless information, really. And what I think it means is to do what we're doing.
What we're
Is you got to
talking
work
about.
hard to develop the skills and the knowledge and the strengths, and then you bring people around you to take care of the things you aren't good at and you don't enjoy doing, and little by little, you don't
Frederick, it's
feel
like this. What happened the other days, we have backup systems. So our whole thing is you can have a computerized system, but if the
yeah,
energy goes down, as it did in the office, and it's 8:30 in the morning, and we got patients waiting, and boof, there was a blowout, and the whole center was blacked out.
mm-hmm.
But our office never stopped because we have travel cards and we have a backup system.
Yeah.
And so we never missed a beat. We never missed a beat.
I
We had
enjoy these
candles. Like
segues.
most people go, oh, this will never happen. Trust me, it's going to happen.
And that would almost be another good podcast to talk about. I know you enjoy Bobby Knight's The Power of Negative Thinking, and that's kind of what that is looking at, what if this does go wrong? What if this happens?
I'm an optimist.
Yeah, we all are, but you also want to just be, hey, what if this happens? Are you ready to handle it?
You better be a pessimist too if you're an optimist.
Well, that's the very military approach, is to look at all angles. Like, okay, well, what happens if they come here, or they come there? And, so you really tactically evaluate all those different systems.
Well, even the Navy SEALs record everything. They record their missions, and then they go back and look why did I take a left there? Why did I take a right there?
I love that.
They're actually teaching intuition.
Yeah. After action review, they always evaluate.
Hey. I've been in the army. Don't come here with this, not your little wussy army. A real friggin' army, bro.
I've never been in the army.
Debriefing is huge. You learn. You may learn. If you're going to lose, we never debrief in chiropractic. They just go, oh, look at me, man. Oh, I had a great week. Okay, let's go debrief.
Yeah. No, it's a great tool to evaluate performance.
You got all these funny terms. Evaluate performance. Woo, woo, woo. Very impressive. You must have a BS degree in something.
I think I do. Somehow. Snuck through.
You weren't the last class before they put the hammer down.
I was not.
I was. They beefed it up a little bit. We didn't want everybody as chiropractors. We don't want everybody. See.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's up to you, but you want people to do it for the right reasons.
Well, correct.
Do it because you want to be a chiropractor, and don't do it because whatever. You're trying to make your mom happy, or you failed, dental school, or what. Don't do it for those reasons.
Correct.
Do it because you feel like you have a calling. You want to help people, and you want to help people get well with an adjustment, and you want to be your own boss, or you want to be an associate. Either one's great. We need both. And you want to make a great living. And that's so. I'm just
saying that this technology that we're talking about.
Well, I was just talking about that. Sorry, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you. You're a little upset last show. I was just talking with I was just talking at the seminar. It's funny. I spoke about this, and then I was speaking about with my brother-in-law and a couple people about how the adjustment really, I don't think, at least at this point, there's no way an artificial intelligence, there's no way a robot could do an adjustment. That human touch.
Aren't you excited that Amazon ain't selling chiropractic anytime soon? Because whatever business you're in, you're out.
Yeah.
Even medicine, they have pharmacy online.
Yeah.
They're gonna own you. They will never come our way. Woo-hoo!
High touch. I know. That's what you want, that human touch. And that's where, when you get really good at it,
yep.
And there aren't many people that really devote that amount of time anymore. So when you really master the adjustment.
Yes. That's the only thing in our office we don't give away.
Yeah, well, why would you? People will pay top dollar to get a great adjustment. And they'll drive for it, and they'll wait for it, and they'll refer for it, and they...
Correct. That's the most important thing to value, is the adjustment.
Of course. That's what we do. That's... So, anyways, let's
you trying to get
really enjoy this. Well, we've had a lot of segues. Had a lot of segues, but we'll get back to energy management. So controlling your energy, guys, this is a long game. And I've seen people, go like this and then they just got exhausted. So, make sure you minimize your commitments by saying no to anything that's not part of your core priorities.
It's a good word. Core priorities.
Core priorities, yeah. What do you want? And then, what he's going to take and focus
I
on that.
actually was working out on my core the other day, and I've actually tightened up a little bit, getting back to just in case I get the nod. See?
We don't want to hear about the
Come
nod.
off the bench. I'll have a lot of enthusiasm.
That's right. So say no, decide on your priorities, take plenty of time off, and then focus on what do you enjoy doing? What brings you joy? What are you interested in? And I talk about it all the time, but I just don't think you can really.
I would tell the person to improve their knowledge base.
Yeah, and improve it in an area that you love, like you're interested in.
You only work on your strengths.
Learning's not a chore. You're excited to learn.
Correct.
And your engagement and how much you learn and how you can implement it when you're excited about it.
Correct.
It's so important. So absolutely.
Yeah, I got adjusted by a guy who hasn't changed his adjustment it hasn't evolved. See, so he's still stuck 36 years ago. Mm-hmm. See, and that means they're going to have to sell something. See, because their adjustment hasn't improved. The quality is huge.
It's massive. Yeah, well, that's what, like we said, if you can either focus on time and try to put in tremendous amount of times and beat people on price, or you can focus on quality and really bring a tremendous amount of quality, and then it's a lot more fun. And it's just
Where's
easier.
the noise? Where's the noise?
What noise?
My grandson, Freddie G. Where is the noise?
He's taking a nap, yeah, because we got to go pick up Pack here in a little bit. So he's going to try to take a nap early.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
But anyways, guys, we're going with energy management. Take care of your energy. If you think this could be of value to anyone you know, please share it.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can help some people, because this stuff is a key to having a great office and a great personal family life, spiritual life, great health. All of it starts with having lots of energy. Amen. So, Dr. Fred, I really enjoyed this. And
Thank you, Dr. FJ. I had fun.
Yeah, I did too.
And this knowledge is the most valuable lesson in everything is your energy. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Spread the word.